Hello there and welcome back to Tiny Zoo, and today we are doing something quite grand in this hole in the ground. Hey, firstly I do hope you're well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Apologies for not saying that first. I'm getting carried away with myself because I'm very excited about this build. I've got all sorts of ideas of what I'm doing here, and it's, as you can see, it's quite a big project, and I have no idea if it's going to work out okay, but I'm going to do my best. So, as you can see, this is obviously a fake pathway up here. I don't think, yes, there is some pathway right along the back. I think that's how I've got the benches down, so I think there is a bit of pathway there, but the idea is that you can come up right to this edge. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to build a viewing platform along this edge, which is going to probably be a few steps downwards, actually a bit, so it's going to be a bit lower than this level here. And the idea is that it's sort of creating a bit of a cave under here. In fact, this may get stretched a bit further back here. So the bears, it's bears, I can't remember if I told you, but we're having bears in here. I won't tell you which bear yet, you'll have to wait until they're in. But yeah, so the idea is that the bears can come back under here and get out of the way. So the only place that you're going to be able to view this whole habitat from is up here. So all of this area up here on the land, none of this is going to be a pathway where you can actually look down into the enclosure. It's only going to be up here. So if the bears want privacy, they come under here. That's the idea. Obviously you've got your pathway here for the staff to use. So there's going to be a small facility under here. I'm going to do sort of an underground zookeeper hut in there, and the rest of this I will fill in with raised borders, shrubberies, that sort of thing. So there's going to be the downwards platform for viewing along here. I'm going to have some water, I think, probably in this corner. And obviously this is all a natural barrier. So barrier wise, there is just going to be this brick wall along this side. But I've got a bit of an idea of what I want to do with all of this, certainly this end, because this needs to look really nice and solid. So I'm going to do a custom wall to cover a lot of this, but you'll have to wait and see that. I'm not going to spoil it. I've got a bit of an idea of how I'm going to do it, and I have no idea if it's going to work yet, which is why I don't want to tell you, because it might go wrong and I have to change my plans. So yeah, we shall see. But for now, that is that. So I don't want to make this video too long because this is quite a big project, so I'm not going to waffle on anymore. I'm going to go away and get on with some building. Okay, so as you can see, I have made some progress here. So this is what I had in mind for the walls. So it's using these stone slabs basically to make this sort of random pattern, and then just copy and paste it around, turn it sometimes so it looks a little bit random. So I've used that. Obviously you can see up here. So I've put a wooden platform at the top to cover the pathway. Filled the gap in with some soil, so that'll be flower beds. And then the walls here will all be this stone pattern, and that continues all the way along here over to this side and underneath here as well. Obviously this needs to be covered up, so I'll do sort of a concrete roof, I think, probably there and up, covering this bit as well. And I have also done my little viewing platform, so it is only small. I don't think it would need to be any bigger than this. It's a very simple, just a few steps down and then a small viewing area here with some very strong railings, and that just covers the entire length, so it gives plenty of area for people to stand and view. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. These walls aren't finished either, they will be decorated more, so I'm going to use lots of foliage. I'm going to sink in some of those nice foliage panels into here, so you get some greenery, and there'll be some ivy and stuff on here as well. So I think it'll look really nice. I've got a few gaps to fill in, obviously just here where I've just copied and pasted stuff and turned it. It's left a few gaps, so that's fine. I can fill those in. I'm not going to continue it in here, and I'm not going to continue it around these sides either, because I think that would just be too much. It would look too fake. These are obviously fake walls, and so I sort of think that they would only be used at this end where you had all the artificial pathways at the top. You know, this is basically natural over here, and so there's nothing for it to support, whereas over here you've got pathways to support, and so this would be sort of a covering for concrete or steel beams and things like that would be there holding all of this up. So yeah, that's my working theory. I did also do what I said and extended this area under here, so this cave is actually quite substantial now. Comes right back there, so the bears will have quite a big area under here where they can get to avoid being seen by the people up here, which I wanted, because it's, you know, these animals are quite shy. Often when you go to the zoos, you never even see these animals because they're just sleeping or they're in their houses. So you've got to make sure they've got somewhere where they can get away and be on their own. The other thing that I did is what I said I was going to do over here. So there is a zookeeper's hut in here. I need to terraform it, because at the moment if you walk in here you just hit land, so I need to push the land back a bit in there, and I'll put this wall in which will continue. I'll landscape this a bit more, continue the wall I think, and that will make a nice backdrop to whatever I do in the front, which will probably be some raised flower beds. So yeah, there we go. That's coming together really nicely so far. I think this project is going to work how I intended, but we shall see. So let me go away now and get on with some more. Just a really quick update for you here, because now we have a bear. I think there's another one on the way, but this is what's coming in here. Grizzly Bears. Look at him or her. What is it? It's a him. It's Tanner the Grizzly. They are absolutely adorable. You just want to give them a big cuddle, don't you? I mean, I wouldn't, because he'd probably eat you, but you want to, because look at him. He's so cute. Anyway, as you can see, I have done a bit more work as well. So this is my idea for the wall here. So you can see I've sunk in some ivy. I've sunk in these panels, and I have just put some of this. What is this? I always forget what this is called. Scaevola bush, because I think that looks really nice as well. And I have just continued that basically all the way around this stone work, and I think that really looks nice now. It looks obviously fake, but it does look also like it's been there a while and stuff has grown on it. So I'm very pleased with how that is now looking. And oh, there's the other one. Who have we got? Maslin, maybe Maslin. I don't know. Anyway, boyfriend and girlfriend. Maybe they'll have babies. You just never know. So that was it. That was all I wanted to show you, just because the bears were coming in. So there we go. I'm now going to go away more and do lots and lots of work. Progress made, not too much, but I just wanted to show you my basic layout now for the habitat. So as you can see, I put a large volume of water in the corner here. I really wanted to make this quite big. They're big animals. They do like to swim, and they've got enough land here that I thought I could get away with making this quite large. And then I've done my safety. So obviously they can't climb up these walls, but these zoos have to be overly cautious with this sort of thing. So, and quite frankly, I just wanted to have a go at building this stuff. So I've done this this safety mesh all the way around the top here. Obviously, it just crosses over here, but I don't have a problem with that. I think that looks fine. And then it comes along here as well. So yeah, that really is, it's a very simple thing, but I think it looks really nice. It looks obviously strong. It's metal. And it does the job. It would certainly stop them from escaping. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how that looks now. And I purposely left the edge of this land completely untouched, so that it isn't a uniform shape, because it wouldn't be in real life. Obviously it's now painted as rock. So I've got a bit of work to do with foliage. I think that's probably what's going to come all around the top here, will be a layer of foliage around these edges, but we shall see. But yeah, you can sort of see how it's all coming together now, and I think this is going to be one of my favourite habitats that I've done in all of my zoos. I really do. I think it's so nice when you have an idea and you don't think it's going to work, and then it does. And at the moment it's working, so we shall see what happens from now on. But crossing your fingers, I think it's going well. So I'm going to rush away now and crack on with it, because I'm really looking forward to doing more. The habitat is coming together very nicely now. As you can see, I've gone with some of these pines in here, the Douglas fir pines. I wanted to theme them a little bit with the actual animals in this enclosure. So some of these pines, they are climbable, but I don't think these grizzlies actually climb them. I think the other bears may do, but I don't think these ones will do climbing. Gone with a different one in the middle, one of these, I think it's a Himalayan birch, yeah, with some rocks, lots of shrubs, all my usuals. The fallen log over here. It just looks cool, doesn't it, having a fallen log? I don't know why, it just makes it look really natural. I've gone with a load of bracken actually in this enclosure. I haven't really used bracken for a while. I don't think I've really used it much in this zoo or in my my other project, Waverley Zoo. If you haven't seen any of that zoo, then please do check it out, because it's a bit different to this one. It's more realistic than this one, I would say. Anyway, back to this one. Yeah, so that's the foliage and the trees, which looks really nice. Put a couple of these dead trees in as well, because you know, sort of giving the impression that maybe the bears have climbed these trees and sort of stripped all the greenery off them. Maybe, I don't know. It looks good either way. And under here, I've put some bedding in for them. As you can see, they do come right under this cave here and sleep. You've got a fake dead tree there and some rocks as well, just making everything look nice. And then what I did around the walls, I decided, I know that they were painted with rock, but I didn't think it looked great, so I have created a complete rock wall all around these two sides. Really just looks so much nicer. I think we can see it here. That's the paint rock, and that's the real rock, and the real rock certainly looks nicer. I also wanted this ledge here around the pool, not for the animals. The bears themselves can't walk on this, but it would make sense for the staff to have access all around the pool. So I did want that. Yeah, so there we go. That is my progress at the moment, and it is coming together really nicely. Really like this at the moment. Still a lot of work to do. Lots of stuff to do around here, and obviously all the foliage that I'm going to be putting up around the top. I think I'm also going to have some kind of a water spout coming out of the wall here, I think, into the water as well. We shall see. So yeah, there we go. Let me go away again and crack on with some more. We are done, and I've got to tell you, I'm so happy with how this has turned out. So as you can see, it's quite nice and full up with the foliage. So let's go inside first and have a look at our bears. As you can see, they're having a good swim around. So I did put a fountain in the corner here. So I constructed this just with various different pieces. It's actually signs. The outside of these signs that you can sink into the walls, and then you've got one of these metal fence pieces at the front, and then just some of the rods sticking out, and a load of water. So that was pretty simple, but I wanted that. Then I've put a special effect here. I really wish you could actually hide the little nozzles that create the effects, or that, you know, that they were invisible, or that maybe you had the option of turning them invisible, because when you want just an effect on the water like that, you can see that and it just looks really stupid. The other thing I had to do was change the water opacity, because if you can see into the water, you can see that the water fountain, the spouts, continues. It doesn't stop when it hits the water, it keeps going, and that looks really stupid. So I played around with it and had to, in the end, I just went full negative transparency, which is a shame, because I put this vent in down here with some bubbles coming out of it, you know, giving the impression of it being an artificial pool of water, and that there's some sort of cleaning process going on down here. But this just doesn't work if you can see underwater. Whereas by doing that, it looks like the water actually comes onto the water here and then splashes. So that's how I've done it, and it's just one of those sacrifices that you have to make. So yeah, so if you go into the water now, you can still just about see the bubbles in the vent. It's still there. I know it's there. You know it's there. We're all happy. So there we go. So the enclosure itself I don't think has really changed much. We've still got our sleeping bears. They are just lovely, aren't they? So I did do a concrete roof here and a concrete roof here. I've put various bits of enrichment in, as you can see. So you've got a feeding stand there, various toys, scratching post here, which they do actually stand up and scratch their backs on, which looks fantastic. I think there's a cardboard box in there. There's another food one back there. So yeah, oh yes, and the other big food one over here, and the scent stick here. So all the main food ones you can see from up here. So this is the view that you would get. You would stand here, and you can see most of the habitat from here. You can see them in the water, and you can see them getting around here. But obviously you can't see them sleeping under here. And I've done that on purpose. I'm fine with that. I think that's exactly how they would like it. So that's that. I've also just put 2 more of these tree planters in back here, because again I had quite a big area here, a bit too open. I wanted to enclose that, so I put a couple of these big trees here. I think this would be a nice place to sit. You've got these benches here, just sitting here and looking out. It's quite a nice view really, isn't it? So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Around the outside here, as you can see, I have just gone with some basic foliage. So I've just continued my usual ideas of just mixing up the shrubs, getting some of these ones further down in the rocks, so it looks like they're climbing in the rocks. I didn't want it to be too dense. I wanted you to be able to sort of see through, because there may well be a pathway along here at some point. But the point is, you can't get onto here to look down into the enclosure, so you'd just be looking from back here basically. That was my thinking. So yeah, that's that. And then this is the last area. So this corner here, obviously you've got the pathway coming under here, so I've managed to fit a few benches there. Shrubbery along here, again this is just just filling in the gaps with some shrubbery basically, and obviously the big umbrella tree on the corner. And then as we come down here, so this is a staff only area, however people can walk down here if they want. It's not a big problem, but there's nothing for them down here. So again, I've made this quite dense down here, so I put these raised flower beds in. So I created the brick walls, put some soil in, and put some shrubs along here. Shrubs along the top, obviously sort of all hanging over, so I've purposely brought them forwards so it really looks like they're bursting over the edge. Ivy, again, ivy is great on walls. It really just fills in the gaps, and seeing huge areas of blank wall isn't a good thing. So if you can get the ivy hanging down there, that works really nicely. So I really like these raised beds on this side, and then around here as well. It's a very simple technique. You just position these bricks, the brick wall pieces in the right place, and then fill the rest in with foliage, and it makes it look really finished. I managed to fit another tree down here as well. I've got this, what is this one? It's a blackthorn bush, technically not a tree, but there we go. And some bamboo, because I wanted a bit of height in here, because you've got this plain back wall here, and I didn't want too much of it showing because it is just painted, so it doesn't look brilliant. So I've covered some of that up with some bamboo, and then just a few smaller shrubs along the front. And then the same on here, I've got a couple of these lovely things in. These desert bloodwood trees. These look really nice. I love the bark on these trees, and the contrast between the bark and the leaves is lovely. So I've got 2 of those in here. More shrubs just along the bottom here, again just filling in the gaps. And then at this end, some bamboo. So I needed something tall in here, but I didn't want it to be a tree, so I've gone with bamboo so that it pokes up right up to this level where you're sitting on the benches. This is the bamboo here, kind of growing up, intermingling with the tree, which is fine, because you don't really see the bamboo from anywhere else, but I did want it just growing up in this gap here. Because I wanted this area to be a bit isolated. You shouldn't really be able to see the enclosure while you're sitting here. That's not the point of this area. This is just a little sort of picnic area underneath this tree. Obviously the tree, I purposely turned it so these low branches are sticking right out here over these benches to provide a bit of shade. So you're only really meant to see the animals when you come over here and you step down onto the viewing platform there. As you can see, there they are having a swim, or one of them's put their toy in there. There we go. So that is it. That is our grizzly bear enclosure, And as I did suggest earlier on, oh hang on, sorry, let me just explain something that happened here. So the facility down here, the staff room, as you can see, I had to move the ground so that you could actually see in here. Obviously the window now just looks out onto dirt, but that's not something I can do too much about really. But when I pushed the ground back there, it caved in up here, and I couldn't level this out without it showing downstairs. So I took advantage of that, and I just made a fake floor and some vents. So it looks like there's some ventilation there coming out of the facility down here. So really simple, really basic, but it's you know, it's a simple solution for a problem. So if you ever have that sort of problem, that's the kind of thing you need to do. Just be creative with some backstage stuff. Anyway, as I was saying, this habitat has turned out so much better than I hoped for, to be honest. I think it's realistic. I do think it's grand for this zoo, to be honest. However, if this zoo was going to get grizzly bears, and there happened to be a large hole in the ground here, they may well do this. So I'm going to forgive myself because I had a lot of fun building this. I do think it's turned out very nicely, and I have still managed to keep it, I think, fairly dense, which is the point of this zoo. It is, it is tiny zoo, so you know, I want everything to be quite cramped and confined, and I still think this is. I mean, you still walk along here, there's not a lot of space, you're still walking under these trees, you've only got a small viewing area here, and all around here, this enclosure, it's very dense with foliage and with the trees in here as well. So I'm gonna forgive myself just for you know, for doing something a little bit bigger and bolder. I don't mind. There we go. So let me know what you think. Did you do you like it? Do you like what I've done? Do you like the idea? Do you think it's worked well? Do you think it fits in with the rest of the zoo? I don't know. Let me know. And that is going to be it for this video. Apologies for it being a bit of a longer one, but as you can see, this was quite a large project. So there was quite a lot to get through and quite a lot of talking to do as well. So yes, until next time, take care of yourselves. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have fun. Have a good day, night, evening, whatever you're going to have. And I will see you soon, I hope. Okay, bye for now.